Here it is, episode 9. So we're cruising through the episodes, and I didn't open my drink yet. So.
Yeah, and if you all don't know who we are, just look down and read it, because I'm not going to say it.
And it's at the very beginning of the. It's on every video intro.
That's why I'm not saying it.
There you go.
Pay attention to the video.
All right. So I'm constantly trying to come up with funny things to say, and I actually do when I'm working my job, when I'm on transport, and one of the people that I go with, we can make funny jokes all the time, but then when I'm sitting here, I'm like, I got nothing. I don't.
Well, let me help the viewers out with good quality. Good quality. Drop a little more knowledge on you so you guys can have good things. Look, my wife and I, we were buying washers and dryers from Sears and Lowe's. And they come with a 3-year warranty. And every year you have the technician come out and check things. Oh, you're good to go. And it never failed. After that year, the third year, the crap would break. And it's no longer under warranty. Anyway, we had went through like 3 sets, maybe even 4 sets of washers and dryers. I was like, man, I'm so done with this. And many of you who are my age would know that anything made in America was the best. That stuff, except Japan used to be really, really good too. They probably still are. That's why we get Toyotas and Hondas. But anyway, there is a washer and dryer that's made in America, and they use them in all the big laundromats, and they're called Speed Queens. Well, now they make them for residential use. They've been for a few years, or maybe longer than that. I just became aware of them. So, yeah, to get the washer and dryer digital cost my wife and I over $3,000. It's not cheap, but in the long run, it is cheap because remember, every 3 years you're replacing your washer and dryer because they're crap. I don't care if they're Kenmore. That's what we mostly went with, Kenmore, whatever.
You should probably tell them how often you wash things, though. There's some people who will go a few days without washing.
Every 2 or 3 days, I'm washing.
I feel like every time I'm at your house, you got the washer and dryer going.
Well, I do
I almost feel like you run a business.
I do, and our water bill is high. Between the washer and dryer and me shitting my guts out in the bathroom, we got a high water bill. So anyway, bought this Speed Queen, and they come with a 7-year warranty. Not something you pay extra for. They just come with it. And if you're thinking, well, 7 years over $3,000, that's not good. That's not really that good. But the fact is, when I looked up on, started reading up on them, they are not guaranteed, but they tend to last 20 to 25 years, just like the old Maytag washers and dryers used to do. So we've had ours for a few years now, and no problems, of course. And so Speed Queen, I'm dropping knowledge for you. They use them. They're commercial grade washer and dryers that are now made for residents, and you can't go wrong. You're welcome. You can thank me later.
Yeah, I know me and Roxy want those because our washer and dryer is done really well. I think our dog Zypher hates the washer more than I do, but anytime if you don't load it correctly, it just out of balance, just slams all over the place. You would think Armageddon is occurring in my house.
See, and that's another thing that I didn't know. I didn't find this. Chris found a video of a guy doing a demonstration with a Speed Queen washer. He put a box of laundry detergent in it, a full box. He didn't dump the detergent. He just put the box in there, and he started it up. And that sucker did not go off balance.
It balanced itself.
Yeah.
You could see it started to shake just a little bit, and then it just smoothed out. Mine will not do that.
I'm letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, If your washer and dryer breaks and you go and get a Kenmore or Maytag, you get what you deserve. I'm telling you, Speed Queen. And no, I'm not paid by Speed Queen. I'm just giving you good advice. There you go.
I have a question. This is going back to the other podcast that we shot. And good old Jim talking about how we're a republic and not a democracy. And, of course, we're a republic, not a democracy. And I'm fully aware of that. The one thing that I have a problem with is the electoral votes. I understand why they do it. It makes sense. But I don't understand why California is so many electoral votes, but yet Missouri is so few. It's not like they get governed differently when it comes to how the White House lays out, Congress and Senate handle business. I mean, it's not like they're all part of America. So why is not every state just one electoral vote?
Yeah, but what they base it off is population, and I'm sure
it
you know
doesn't
that.
matter. They're still governed just like any other state.
Well, thank God we're not governed like them, or we'd be passing legislation
that's
to have sex with little children, and just as long as they're willing, though, then it's okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to say it again, man. God said, if you say to this mountain, be uprooted and cast into the sea, and you believe, it'll happen. I'm praying. Now, I don't know if it means the land actually and just all the people fall into the ocean, or California's government is a mountain, and I'm praying that sucker's going to fall into the sea. And I feel bad for all you people living in California. Well, not all of you. If you're a liberal, you get what you deserve. If you're a conservative, leave that state and go to Texas or Missouri or, Oklahoma is definitely a conservative state. So I'm just... get out of there. The place sucks.
I worked so much this last week. I don't really have anything to talk about. It was just a blur. Like, I worked so much.
Something had to happen at work.
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. And even if it did, I really don't talk about that, other than the fact that I work transport.
Yeah, funny stuff driving, not people.
No, not that I can. And if I did, I don't remember. Like, that's how my week just went by in like a split second.
Okay, well, I'm going to drop some more. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Politics and faith, we said we'll touch on it a little bit here and there. Let me drop some knowledge on you guys. Getting a chip in your arm, your wrist, whatever, that is not taking the mark of the beast. Now, if they're going to put a chip in your arm and say, the only way you get this chip so you can survive, you need to deny Jesus Christ right now, that would be taking the mark of the beast. But let me educate you. Oh, man, Christians, you should be on meat and still need to feed you with milk. Mark and seal. In the Greek, it's the same word. So here you go. If you're a believer, you are sealed with the Holy Ghost. You're sealed. They put a mark on you. I've got the Holy Ghost. Do you see anything on my forehead or my wrist besides my Puma watch and my army thing? No, you don't. So if you take the mark of the beast, the seal of the beast, you don't have to see anything either. It's people who deny Christ and live for Satan. They're already marked. Why does God use the term forehead and wrist? Because it's your thoughts and what your hands do, which lead a lot of people into trouble. Get it straight. Hey, I would love a cashless society if we had an integral, is that the word? Integral government. Because, man, it'd be great not to ever having to have cash or my debit card and I just put my hand under something and it'd have to be your hand because they don't want you trying to put your forehead under things. And boom, you ring it up. That would be awesome. Here's the problem with it. China. They work off a system like, they don't have chips in their arms, but they work off a system like that. And the government closes people's finances down all the time. People are so worried about, we gotta defend the Second Amendment. We gotta defend the Second Amendment. By George, that Second Amendment was there for us to be against wicked governments, and I'm glad it's there. But look, the government doesn't have to step in and mess with the Second Amendment. They say, let's go to a cashless society, and then they start doing things that the people want to revolt against, and they shut everything down. And unless you're well stocked on weapons and ammunition, you can't do diddly. They don't have to come after our Second Amendment rights. They know that, so they scare us over here. Oh, we're going after AR-15s. We're going after this and that, whatever the case may be. And behind your back, they're doing the secret things that they really want to do to destroy this country. This knowledge is free, ladies and gentlemen. I know you think I'm, somebody said they thought I'm funny, and I appreciate that because I don't find myself funny. But this funny guy, I have some knowledge, some stuff that you don't hear that I'm dropping for free. Your turn.
I charge people for my knowledge, which is why I don't drop knowledge very often because nobody wants to pay me. So, I got my truck fixed. I hope I hope it works this time because if not, hey Toyota, I'm coming to buy a Tundra. That's just how it is.
How's the steering wheel stuff going?
Oh, steering wheel's great. They also had to replace the windshield wiper switches or switch, which also is your blinker too. And now you actually, like, if you want to use your blinker, it's because you want to use your blinker. Like it's pretty stiff. It's not just easy, not a feather click.
It's funny you say that because when I want to use mine, it's pretty stiff.
Oh my gosh. See, this is what I was talking about. I'm not funny when it's like you said a while back that I'm the funny one. And that immediately, now I'm just on the spot all the time. Now I'm like, gosh, I got to be funny. But when it's on the spot, it's more like just everyday things, everyday occurrences. I'm just funny. But when it's on the spot, I got nothing. I just draw a blank stare. My brain goes, yeah, we're going to check out now.
Well, we're going to practice here because you got to get quicker than that guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but man, I love watching Mickey Mouse on Walt Disney. But anyway, you got to get quicker than that guy you talk about a lot. And
I'm pretty quick on TikTok, like that video that I made for, the running joke is if you ride a Gixxer, you're gay. All guys who ride Gixxers are gay. Obviously, I'm farthest from, But so I made a video and this dude was like, F the haters, right? And I said, I do, but only the dudes. Like I'm just quick like that. I am fast when the pressure's not on me, It's just another one. The guy was like, yeah, this is why it's hard for me to ride with Suzuki riders because they're always staring me in the eyes. And I was like, oh, that's weird because I only look at them in their, I put the rooster emoji. So that's I'm funny when it's not on the spot, when I don't feel like I'm being pressured. So.
Do you know what brought about the gay things about the Gixxer?
Actually, no one knows.
No one knows.
No. In fact, there are tons of comments. I could probably go to every single video on my TikTok account where I'm talking about my Gixxer, and somebody drops a comment, where did the gay jokes come from? And I'm like, I don't know.
So I'm going to assume that's a lot like the Karen thing. The girls who are, women who, they're just screaming and hollering about nothing. They're a Karen, and I guess now for guys it's Kevin. Sucks if your name is Kevin or Karen and you're really good people, but that's just the way things happen sometimes.
Yeah. You ever how many of you have a gut instinct? Like I have a really good gut instinct, and we're going to talk about this. It happened a while ago, but I met this individual, and I just immediately wanted to punch him square in the face. And at first I was like, wow, this is like, what is wrong with me? Why am I so, like, I know I could be a jerk. I know I could be, hard to get along with, but why am I immediately wanting to deck this dude right in the face? So I kind of left the area. Like I left. I was like, I I don't know what's wrong with my attitude. I need to change. I'm not going to ruin anybody else's day. Well, I was around this individual a little while later, and again, the same thing. Just wanted to knock him out. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I know I struggle with anger issues, but there's no way I'm this angry. I don't even really know this dude. Well, fast forward, and it turns out that this individual is a ignorant person and needs some educating. And not with a fist to the face, but, pretty... They're racist. I'll just say it. They're racist, and just trust your gut sometimes, people. That's all I'm saying. That's where I was going with that story. Trust your gut, which you guys probably have pretty good guts because you're still here. So, watching this show, you know what's up.
Now that you mentioned, people being racist and everything, I guess only white people can be racist now, according to the professionals, whoever they may be. Of course, we know that's ridiculous. Look, I was raised not to be racist. I was raised that way. At 7 years old, I was watching a beauty contest on TV. Don't ask me why. I guess maybe at 7, I like to see the girls in the bikinis. I don't know. But anyhow, I was watching it, Long Island, New York, and this one woman comes out, and she was very pretty. And I said, from my 7-year-old little mouth, that's a very pretty lady. That lady is very pretty for a black lady. And my grandmother snapped. And she was like, what did you just say? And so I repeated it. And my grandmother said, she's either pretty or she isn't. You don't get to mention color. Even being raised right, that doesn't mean you don't make racist comments. I was 25 years old when I made my last racist comment, and I was in the military. I was in combat down in Panama, and just under the pressure, said something I shouldn't have even said, and the person I said it to, her husband was back at Fort Bragg in my unit, and we were kind of good acquaintances, could have been friends. And just me being stupid, plus it was constantly being chirped in my ear, but I'm taking responsibility for my own actions. At 25 years old, I made a racist comment, and I was saved from getting in trouble because the sergeant down there in Panama, which I should inform you all, he was a black gentleman. And I know his name still to this day because he saved me from getting written up, because I think he honestly knew this guy is not a racist. But sometimes we say stupid things. At 25, when I got back to Fort Bragg, the person's calling, hey, karate man, come on over here. And I already knew what was happening, so I walked over to him and I said, look, I made a mistake. I'm going to let you hit me one time. If it doesn't knock me out, I'm going to pick myself up off the ground and go about my business. But if you try to hit me a second time, it's going to be on. And he just looked at me and he goes, just get away from me, man. I don't ever want to talk to you again. So I lost. He was a good acquaintance, and we could have become good friends, but because of one stupid comment, I blew it. And who can blame him? Because I was definitely wrong. But for people to, well, I've never made a racial, I'm not racist. I've never made a racist comment. Bull. There might be people who haven't, but the majority, whether it's a joke in bad taste or just
Guilty.
Something slipping out, see? It happens. But once you're mature enough, like I was after Panama, I knew I screwed up, and I just accepted it. I didn't try to brush it off, and I apologized to the guy, but the friendship, it was over. It cost me a friendship. Be careful. Be careful.
See, I had a situation not too long ago. Fortunately, they knew. I was trying to make a joke, and I screwed. I don't know how. I don't know why. All right, but I said it with the hard R. Not even intentional. Fortunately, the person that I was with knows who I am as a person. and we were the only people around each other. So safe there. However, I was like, that was not at all how I meant to say that.
Did you apologize to him?
Well, see, I figure when I've already dug a hole, why not just dig deeper? So after, I was like, I didn't, like, that's not at all how it was supposed to come out. And they said, yeah, I know. And I said, plus, you know me, my best friends are black for Halloween. And so, which made this person laugh super hard because they did not think that's what I was going to say because they know my friend Terrell. So they thought I was going to say my best friend's Terrell and who they know. And that's not what I said. So it was just a complete other blind side. So that's the type of person that I am. Instead of, immediately apologizing, I just dig deeper. It's keeps life entertaining.
I told you he's funny. Now there's the funniness coming out. There's the funniness. That's what I like.
It's not always prejudice humor though, or racist humor.
Yeah, racist.
I don't know. To me, I understand what people mean when they say, "I don't see color." And I know some people think that's a stupid statement. It's the first thing you see when you see somebody, but I legitimately do not. I definitely judge an individual by the content of their character. And that, now, don't get me wrong, I used to, back a few years ago, because of the news kind of, instilled that I don't want to call it a fear, but when I had to go to Chicago for training with CR England,
most dangerous place.
Yeah, the news would have you believe that it's the most dangerous, white people hate black people and black people hate white people. And so before I went down there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is, just keep your head low. Just, don't go out at night. But that when I got there and I was me, I treated people how I wanted to be treated. I did not have one problem, not one time. In fact, I made a really good friend while I was down there, and it was crazy because he was like, how we kind of hit it off. I helped him with some stuff, and he goes, you're the only person who stopped and helped me. None of these other dudes wanted it, and they were all the same color as each other. I was like, it has nothing to do with color. Like, that's just who people are sometimes. Like, you get pieces of garbage in every race, so I don't understand why. So yeah, I definitely, I don't see color. Like, if you are a decent human being, we're gonna get along just fine.
That's why I also disagree with the you're a white guy, let me take you to the certain area of town and you'll have a different perspective. Guess what? I can go as a white guy into certain areas of town where the white people are, and I won't want to be there either. It works every way, man. Whether Hispanic, African American, Caucasian, Chinese, Vietnamese, whatever, Asian, I guess we call it, group it together. But thank God I grew past that. Wes, if you ever see this podcast, which I doubt, but man, I'm sorry that happened, and I hope you've forgiven me.
It'd be a long time to hold a grudge.
People do hold grudges, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's another thing. Like, I had a great aunt, and man, she was always crabby. She died in her 80s back in, I guess it would have been the 90s. So she's way back there, right? And she was always crabby. And one day I blew up at her, told her to shut her mouth. And she looked at me with such shock, and she said, even my own husband never spoke to me like that. I said, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Your husband needs to speak to you like that. But I found out, man, I don't know. It's probably been a year now. From my uncle, he taught me that my great aunt at 16 years old, was given a full hysterectomy. And they didn't have hormone replacement and stuff back then. So imagine a woman losing all that and losing, I guess, the ability to make estrogen or whatever, however it works in a female body. And
I thought a hysterectomy had something to do with college, so I don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah, well, she had that full hysterectomy. And, you know, if I wish I would have known that, because then I could have, okay, well, she's agitated and stuff all the time because her hormones don't work correctly and all that. But, you know, I just judged her as just bitter and mean. And but she wouldn't, honestly, and I don't know, maybe you could do this or maybe you can't, but she wouldn't let things go. The day I screamed at her, she was griping and complaining to me that my dad still owed her $500 that had happened more than 30 years ago. So some people don't let things go. Some people do hold on. So whether Wes is holding a grudge or not, he's probably forgotten all about me. Probably not even something he thinks about. But
I was just going to say, you live a miserable life if you don't let things go. It makes your life a lot harder. So that's the only reason I said that.
The only way I hold on to something is if I can use it against the person later on.
Yeah, that's definitely called a grudge.
How we doing on time?
We're doing good. Time's almost up.
All right.
Speaking of time almost being up, I hope this cold weather's almost up because I'm getting sick and tired of it. Missouri, I know Missouri isn't the only state that does this where it like gets warm and then gets cold again, but I feel like Missouri's the best at it because you'll get like a super nice day of like, hey, sun's out, 75 degrees. Very next day, 25 degrees. Let's hang out. No, like I hate that. Hate it.
I don't know if you saw, but we do have a 72-degree day coming up.
And then I'm sure it's cold after that.
It showed it dropping back into the 60s, and I think a little later it gets back into the 50s.
That's still dumb. That's not warm enough for me to go riding. So,
well, I like my dad's philosophy. Once it dropped below 70 degrees, the motorcycle got parked.
Oh no, I'll ride like 65. I'll go out. I'll still go on long rides, but like anything colder than that, I'm not doing it. So, yeah, there it is.
Another podcast. So much fun.